Right now, there's a weight pressing down on your chest, a storm raging inside that nobody else sees because the world expects you to be unbreakable, unstoppable, always moving, always grinding. The noise never stops. The endless notifications, meetings, deadlines, decisions, each one a fresh spike of pressure, a reminder that if you don't keep up, you'll be left behind. You've built something, maybe a startup, an empire, a legacy. And still, beneath all that hustle, there's a gnawing tension, a quiet dread that maybe all this noise is just drowning out what really matters. You haven't stopped long enough to hear yourself think, to really feel what's under the surface, the exhaustion, the anxiety, the fear that you'll lose yourself in the race. The truth is, what's dragging you down isn't just how much you do. It's how little you give yourself the chance to simply be. And that's the trap. The system wants you to run in circles, desperate to prove you belong. But greatness doesn't come from running harder. It comes from stopping, even if it's just for 60 seconds. 60 seconds. That's all it takes to flip the switch inside your brain, to snap you out of autopilot and remind you who you really are beneath the titles, beyond the deadlines. You don't need to meditate for hours or spend days on a retreat to reclaim your power. You just need 1 full minute of stillness. No distractions, no excuses, no justifications, just stillness. Imagine this. You pause, fully stop. No phone, no background noise, just silence. For those 60 seconds, nothing else exists but you and your breath. You may think you don't have time, but that's exactly why you need it. Because the cost of ignoring that quiet moment is chaos, burnout, indecision, a fog that steals your clarity. Inhale deeply. Feel the breath fill your lungs. Exhale and feel the tension slip from your shoulders. That's where your mind starts healing. Your body remembers what calm feels like. Your spirit, long buried beneath expectations, flares faintly back to life. This isn't fluff. It's science. Your brain, constantly switched on, operates in a high alert mode, like a soldier on the battlefield. That's why your thoughts spiral, your heart pounds, your mind burns out without warning. But those 60 seconds of stillness, they reset your nervous system. They drop you out of fight or flight and into rest and digest. You unlock a rare moment where your brain can reorganize, optimize, and reset. Suddenly, the overwhelming becomes manageable. The impossible gets closer. The chaos turns meaningful. Stillness doesn't slow you down. It speeds you up, clears the clutter, sharpens your strategy. If you're leading, investing, building, there's no failing to see what this can do. Because it's not about stopping work. It's about stopping the noise that keeps your best self buried. It's about reclaiming your why by being still enough to hear it. How often do you really ask yourself, am I on the right path? Or, what part of me have I been ignoring? Not under pressure, not pushing through, but in quiet honesty. Those questions don't have answers in busyness. They're only answered when you give yourself permission to be still. The truth is, in silence, you meet parts of yourself you haven't had a chance to know. The parts hungry for freedom, for real creativity, for rebellion against the fake comfort the world sells you. The world tries to sell you belong to a company, to a system, to a role. But you're not here just to belong. You're here to become. And becoming requires space, patience, and stillness. Because change, the kind that actually disrupts and transforms, doesn't come from noise or speed. It grows in quiet moments where thought deepens and soul wrenches from illusion. Think about the moments when you were your most brilliant. Maybe it was when you stared out the window, lost in thought, disconnected from everything else. Maybe it was in the silence just before a breakthrough. Those rare sparks aren't accidents. They're gifts from stillness. You give yourself those moments, and you tap into the power that the crowd forsakes. The power of the rare individual who doesn't accept the world as it is, but dares to dream what it could be. But here's the brutal part nobody talks about. The world screams for speed and output, but it starves you of stillness. You're wired to be restless because the system needs you busy, compliant, distracted. Stillness disrupts that flow. It's an act of rebellion. Every time you stop to simply be, you're saying no to the invisible chains of conformity that keep you small. You're throwing off the weight of expectations, of roles that don't fit, of borrowed identities that aren't yours. 60 seconds of stillness is a refusal to be processed like a cog in the machine. And underneath that refusal lies a deeper truth. You are sovereign. Your will is your weapon. Not because you have endless energy or time, but because you have control over that small space, over your mind, your breath, your moment. If you master those 60 seconds, you unlock the foundation of true freedom. Not the fake freedom of distractions and consumption, but the freedom to shape your reality from the inside out. Stillness is the birthplace of transformation. Your next big idea, your next critical decision, your next bold move, all of these don't come from reacting faster or working longer. They come from sitting quiet, letting your mind untangle itself, letting your heart realign. That's where clarity comes. That's where courage grows. When you create those pockets of stillness repeatedly, your entire day transforms because you've reset the starting point of every action you take after. Now imagine adding just one more layer: intention. Don't just sit still for 60 seconds. Sit still with purpose. Let your mind ask, what do I really want today? What truth have I buried? What fire is waiting to be lit? And breathe. Feel the answers come up, not in a rush, but like a whisper in the silence. You're connecting to your deeper self, who knows the limits imposed by the world's illusions. You know the masks you wear, the fears you hide behind. Stillness lets you pull those masks off, bit by bit. For founders, time spent in stillness is strategic gold. It's the reset that prevents costly mistakes born from stress or rush. For investors, it's the calm eye that balances emotion and logic when the markets roar like a storm. For leaders, it's the grounding force that lets you inspire others without being overwhelmed yourself. For everyone who refuses to settle, stillness is not a luxury, it's survival. It's painfully simple. The power of those 60 seconds isn't just in what you do during them, it's in the habit. It's in turning stillness from an occasional act into a daily revolution. The moment you weave stillness into your routine, you put a brake on the world's endless demands. You forge a sacred space where your wildest visions can breathe. You become not just a participant in the world's chaos, but the architect of your own path, immune to noise, immune to distraction, driven by your fierce clarity. And the most beautiful part? Stillness connects you to others who do the same. Those few who refuse to conform, who hunger for freedom beyond illusions, who burn with the same fire you do. In this shared silence, you find a strangely powerful community, not one bound by geography or labels, but by aligned essence. Together, you create a network of rare brilliance, sharper than any system, stronger than any rulebook. Stillness isn't comfort. It's defiance. It's a quiet war against the lie telling you to run faster, to dim your flame, to settle. It's a claim staked fiercely on your right to be yourself fully, in all your complexity, all your ambition, and all your raw humanity. In those 60 seconds, you unlock a rhythm that reverberates through your entire day, your entire life. You step out of the noise and into your power. So don't wait for the perfect moment. Steal 60 seconds now, from the chaos, from the endless to-do list, from the next urgent email. Sit down, breathe, and be still. No distractions. Just you. Let the storm inside you calm. Let your mind clear enough to see what's really true. Because what hides beneath the noise is the real fire, the fire that builds empires, breaks mold, changes futures. This moment, this minute, could be the single most powerful reset you ever give yourself. The act that shifts you from burnout to brilliance, from distraction to laser focus, from exhaustion to energy. It's not just time lost. It's time reclaimed, time to become who you were always meant to be. And here's the secret that changes everything. Once you discover this power, you won't ever want to go back to the old way. Because life with stillness isn't just different. It's better, sharper, more alive, more free. So breathe in, hold it, let it out. 1 minute. That's all. But it's more than enough to change everything.